Well, he's never, ever been afraid of winding up the other side of the city. He is a player that courts controversy. He's a player that divides opinion. He's a player that some rate, that some don't rate. He's a player that has his moments. He's a player that has some off days. He's a player that certainly gets people talking. He's a player that Chris Sutton doesn't really like. He's a player that winds up Chris Sutton. That's why we love him. Todd the Prod. Todd, he's one of us. Todd, he gets it, doesn't he? He understands what it is to be a Rangers player. He's spoken of his love for the club on a number of occasions. God knows what is going on with my hood tonight. Do apologise for that. God knows what's happening there. Well, we're going to talk on today's video, this early video, guys. There'll be more videos throughout the day, so please look out for them. Look, Todd Cantwell has always courted controversy, and lots of people have said that he needs to do his talking on the pitch rather than off the pitch. And he's never been afraid to speak his mind off the pitch or to quote something on Instagram or TikTok or somewhere. TikTok Todd, as he's been branded by some, is a man who is not shy and retiring. He is a real character, sort of a throwback to the old days. Now, Todd's had his up days, he's had his down days this season. He's had his good form, he's had his bad form. I mean, obviously, the bad side of it, no more than being hooked by the manager after only half an hour of the Aris Limassol at Europa League game to that fantastic performance against Hearts. Cantwell is an enigma. He is, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the most skillful, talented players on this team. But some of our fans don't like him. Some of our fans love him. I love Todd personally. I'll criticise him when he does badly, as I did earlier in the season. But on the whole, I do love Todd Cantwell. Now, one of the things that sort of polarizes Cantwell and his image is the whole fact that he does get involved with certain things. He has that edge to him. He has a bit of fire in his belly, and he has a bit of the devil in him. He certainly does. Now, there was that spat, wasn't there, after the recent Old Firm game against Callum McGregor, which all apparently stemmed from the fact that when Callum McGregor came on as a sub, he said to Cantwell, "It's over. It's over." Winding up Todd obviously proving him wrong with that 3-3 draw. Yes, not the best result. Yes, we did need to win that game. However, Todd, who has had, decent stats this year, has been talking about that incident. We'll get to that in a moment. He's also been talking about the fact that he wants to win more than Callum McGregor. So this season, Todd has played 26 games in the SPL, scoring 5 goals and having 4 assists, 9 goal contributions in 26. He's had 4 appearances, 1 goal in the Europa League, 4 appearances in the Champions League qualifiers, and 1 assist. 3 appearances in the SFA Cup, 1 assist, and 2 appearances in the League Cup. Overall this season, 39 appearances, 6 goals, 6 assists. That's 12 goal contributions. Yes, probably overall, you would want to see a little bit more in terms of goal contributions and in terms of goals. Double figures on both would be the ideal for someone who plays in that 10 role. But we have got to remember, at the start of the season, he was often used out of position. And under Michael Beale, everyone was kind of used out of position and in the wrong place and just really badly. So what has Todd been saying about this whole Callum McGregor incident? Well, this is what he had to say when he talked to Sky Sports about the whole McGregor incident. It's quite revealing, really, what he said. He says there is a rivalry there, right? Which is true. Yes, Celtic and Rangers, we hate each other. I hate them as much as the next Rangers fan. I absolutely detest them. Can't stand them. If I went out with a girl, and even if I fell in love with her, find out she was a Celtic fan, I'd still dump her and kick her out. Listen, there are things that are said on the pitch and the things that are said off the pitch, which as a player, I think you should respect. I want to win probably as much as he does, probably a little bit more, to be honest, because he's been up here a long time. So I think, it's really more about Cantwell having a hunger to actually win his first trophies in Scotland. McGregor has, unfortunately, won quite a lot of trophies with that lot. That is obviously an unfortunate thing of the last 12 years of some awful performances, some awful Rangers teams and some bottle merchants that have played for our club. And it's... Look, I'll get back to this in a minute. It's a rivalry. It's a competition. Both teams want to win. Both teams need to win. And for me, it stops there. That's all it is. After the match, McGregor had commented, listen, it's football. It's 2 passionate teams that want to win. It's no drama at all. Now, Todd is right, and I'm not going to call him out for this. I'm not going to condemn him for this. I'd rather have my players show some passion. I'd rather have my players want to win. Have my players talk about wanting to win, because one of the things that has been leveled at this team is that they don't want to win. They don't care. They're bottle merchants. They're serial bottle jobs, etc., etc. it's clear to me that Cantwell isn't like that. He wants to win. He wants to be the best. He wants to win things for Rangers. And I would argue that he does have a very strong desire to win for this club. And you know what? If it winds up Callum McGregor, if it winds up Celtic, I really couldn't care less, because at the end of the day, it just gets him under their skin even more. And that is a good thing. The more he gets under the skin, the more he bothers them, the better for us, because the more they're going to obviously throw hate at him, throw attention on him, and the more he's going to revel in it. He loves that hate. He loves that attention that he gets from them. You know, Todd has been talking very generally about himself as a player and about himself, you know, as a person. You know, he spoke to the media as regards this, and like I said, he's someone who's not afraid to court controversy, is he? He's someone who, you know, really doesn't worry about, you know, what people think of him, and that's good. And you know, yes, he has had some moments this season where he has not been in Philippe Clement's good books, so it seems, and there seemed to be at that point after the Aris game a kind of I don't know, a problem, didn't there? That many people felt that Philippe didn't fancy Todd, that Todd didn't fancy Philippe, and it was going to end in tears. Am I talking about football here or a relationship? It's football I'm talking about, obviously. You know, but he has said, and he's warned people, that he's not going to change for anyone, and we don't want Todd to change. I'd rather Todd go about being who he is, you know, being the character he is. You know, football hasn't got enough characters in it now, I don't think. You know, if I go back to when I started watching Rangers play, and, you know, you had the likes of McCoist, and you had the likes of Souness, you had the likes, you know, of Terry Hurlock, Graham Roberts, you know, real characters in that team. And you know, coming through the era at Rangers, Paul Gascoigne, I mean, you can't get a bigger character than Paul Gascoigne, and obviously Ali as well, Super Ali McCoist. So look, I like the characters. I like those types of people at our club. I think that's a great thing. That is a real positive thing for me. You know, like I said, Todd has said that he's not going to change for anyone. He's not going to become a different person for anybody, and that's a good thing. You know, I think, you know, if you took that out of him, that little bit of a devil, that little bit of a, you know, a bit of a swagger, you wouldn't have the same player. You know, he's come in obviously and been at war with Chris Sutton this year, which is fine. You know, I hate Chris Sutton as much as he does, and Chris Sutton, you know, is an attention seeker, as Todd Cantwell called him. You know, he spoke to the media ahead of the game against St Mirren yesterday, and he said, it would be easy for me to be a lot more introverted as a person, but I don't want to ever live a lie. I don't want to be false. He then went on to say, the same person I am off the pitch is the same person I feel I am on it. People are always going to have opinions, and they will differ. A lot of people will make their own minds up. That's life and football. But I don't plan on changing for anyone. The people who are important to me know me, and they're happy with me. I don't need verification from people who are irrelevant to me. The personal scrutiny is a bit strange because there's so much more going on, but it seems to be highlighted quite a lot. I'm the type of player that invites a conversation. I know that, and probably a bit of controversy as well. But I would like to be talked about in terms of how I play football more than anything else. I understand up here you have people who need to stay relevant and need to stay in the limelight. But for me, I'm concentrating on my football. And that's all we want from Todd, you know, is him to absolutely focus on being the best that he can be and being the best Rangers player that he can be and winning for us on the field. That is what we want from Todd. And for me, what is coming across in these interviews that he is giving is that he very much is thinking like that, and he has a winner's mentality. And that's the sort of player we need. You know, we've often, haven't we, leveled at some of these players, the Tavs, the Goldsons, the Lundstroms, the Barisiches of this world, that they don't have the mentality of a winner. They have a loser's mentality. But Todd Cantwell seems to be the opposite of that. And I think we should be encouraging that. He went on to say, I think mentality, excuse me, he said, I think mentality comes down to big games. You need to be ready to be judged on the big games and how you react within that. I think the group here has the mentality to achieve everything we want to achieve this season, but saying it and doing it are two very different things. Spot on, Todd. Everyone in the changing room is excited to finish the season and finish it strong. If we do exactly what we've set out to do, the mentality will no longer be questioned. Will we regret if we don't win it? Not necessarily, because it wasn't in our own hands at one point when we were 8 points behind. So what we've actually done is put ourselves back in contention. Yeah, we had a little slip when things were in a good place, but the season is by no means done. We've got to win the remaining games and win every game. If we do, then I think it will be a very good season. So it's clear that there is still a desire within Todd and, I'm sure within a lot of the other players to actually win this title and to win the Scottish Cup as well and finish on a positive this season. Look, no matter what happens, we all know this squad needs a huge overhaul. But I do think that Todd Cantwell will be an essential part of that next season. I like his attitude. That's what he said. I like the words he's coming out with. The one thing I do want to see, though, is him now go out and really back those words up. Now, I thought he played really well against Hearts last Sunday. I thought he was really unlucky to be substituted against St Mirren. He was the one player who, in that second half, seemed to be trying to put some urgency with, I think, Mohamed Diamande as well into that game, running at players. And we had that moment when he ran at 2 or 3 of their defenders, took them on, beat them, and that shot just curled wide. That is what we need to see more of from Todd. And that urgency is something that he does, and he does hair around. He does lead the press. I think he gets a lot of unfair criticism at times, and I do think that his mentality, his attitude is one that hopefully will start to rub off on the other players. Guys, let me know what you think of this. Let me know what you think of Todd saying he wants to win more than Callum McGregor. Thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation, guys. As always, if you can sub to the channel, it will help us to keep on growing and help us to get close to that magic 6,000 subs by the end of the season. And you know what? Reminder of what you get here. Daily news and opinion videos, free. Live podcasts, free. Live stream games, free. Polls and interactive posts, free. No Patreon, no paywall, all free. The only money we take on this channel is if you give us a super thanks or a super sticker or a super chat on a live stream. Obviously, those are always welcome. Or if you join the channel for 99p. We don't hide content behind paywalls. We don't try and flog your merchandise. That's not who we are. I'm someone who believes that fans should have access to content on their teams. Watch the videos, like the videos. That helps. If you want to donate to help the channel, please do. Thank you for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation, guys. Nothing I love doing more than talking all things Rangers FC. As always, guys, on the way out, 2 things I ask. Number 1, smash the like. And number 2, the most important thing I always ask you, please never, ever forget this important message. We are the people.